Welcome back. This is episode 4 in our 1890s home renovation series. In my last video, I talked about the phases of our renovation, and in this video, we will be continuing in phase 1, the prep phase or the demo phase, whatever you want to call it. The agenda is to remove the chimney, continue demo, and clean up to prepare for wiring, plumbing, and everything else in between. So our neighbor borrowed us his lift to remove the chimney. My brother also biked over with his wife to help us, so thanks, Andrew. While the chimney was getting removed, my sister-in-law and I took my kids for a walk, and I didn't film much of the demo because I didn't want my kids to get hit with any of the chimney pieces. You know, not that they would have actually purposely hit them, but just for my peace of mind and my husband's peace of mind, we made ourselves pretty scarce. I'm so thankful to my brother for coming over and helping my husband out with this. I should clarify, my brother just helped my husband get it below the roof line, and then my husband tackled it from there. So they were able to patch the hole and get the chimney below the roof line so that we could start removing it. So I feel like when you have young kids in tow, renovations happen in sprints. For us, we are still working on gutting the home, so while my husband removed the chimney in the attic, I was making more of a mess in the middle floor. There is still some detail demo that needed to happen here, like smashing out lath, pounding in nails, and removing any insulation that got left, and prepping the chimney area. Really getting into the nitty-gritty details on getting to the studs. This is probably about 50% of the demo process. I often wonder if all this is necessary, and really to answer my own question, I think it is. We are going to need to properly insulate the home and really check for any damage, which we haven't found any water leaks or water damage, which is huge. It's hard not to make all these clips time lapses because they are so satisfying to watch, but it also gives you a false sense of how long this actually takes. I try to show you as I am demoing the wall to get access to the chimney on the first floor. There's a good 45 seconds of me just pounding the plaster to break off the lath. This is not an Instagram reel, and this is real time. Now, I don't really mind this work. It works my body, gives me quiet time to be in my own consciousness, and I find a lot of peace while doing it. My husband actually says the same thing. While we have a timeline, and there are moments where I do get stressed, the pressure is not super high yet. So when we are here working, it feels leisurely and relaxing. Our kids are off having fun with family, and so much of this work would not be happening without the proximity of my family. This job is not exactly kid-friendly, so having them off-site is huge, and I'm so grateful to my sisters and their willingness to watch our kids so that we can do this job. It truly takes a village, and I just need to extend my gratitude and thanks to them. Also, if you're new here, my name is Katelyn, and I'm really into slowing down, savoring my days, and creating with intention. Time is my currency, and I feel like I'm on a mission to rid my own life of overwhelm and honestly really savor in the simple life. If this sounds like something you need in your life, grab my 5 rules for creating a savory life in the description below. Now, the reason we need to remove the chimney is because we need to replace an I-beam in the basement. This is the only foundational problem that we have, and I talked more about this in the previous video, all about our design plans, the timeline, all of that. So make sure you go back and watch that one if you haven't. Now, if you want a detailed plan of how we plan on replacing the I-beam and all of that, it's really all in my husband's head at this point, and really all I know is we will be using house jacks. So if you want to see how that all comes together, subscribe so you don't miss it. Now, this detail demo is hard to capture on camera. There are a bunch of little nails left in the walls because of the lath from the plaster, so we need to pound them in, especially on the exterior walls. And while I'm working on it, I'm thinking about how much these walls are probably not level or square and how much that is going to impact the end result. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I feel like there are going to be problems that we just can't even see at the moment because of what we are doing right now. Maybe not. But if I have fooled you into having you know that we feel like we know what we're doing, we really do not know what we're doing. So I've said it before, we've done a few renovations before, but nothing of this scale or really gutting it down to the studs. And the closest thing we've got to that was our $2,000 kitchen remodel that we did in our previous home. I'll leave a link for that in the description below. But that feels like a lifetime ago. So much of our life has changed since then, and it's just kind of crazy to think about that video. Also, a huge part of this last section is brought to you lovingly by Stoolie. This is Stoolie Stool. This little Stoolie Stool has helped me and has almost killed me too many times to count. So thank you to Stoolie for bringing you this part of this video. We will see if it makes it through the rest of this renovation. Let's do a little recap of the day. We got the chimney out of the attic and the second floor. I demoed one of the walls in order to get access to the chimney in the first floor, and I puttered throughout the second floor, pulling any loose materials off the walls and started cleaning out all of the stud spaces. And don't get me wrong, I got really dirty during this process. So if you are someone who loves DIY projects and the realistic nature of them, follow along and make sure you are subscribed so that you never miss a video in this series. I'm so excited to salvage the bricks that survived the drop out the window and use them somewhere else on the property. Guess how many bricks we now have stacked on this pallet. I'll tell you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, remember to download my 5 rules for a savory life linked below.